when I was looking for housing, I looked up the portals that they had at the websites online. So I was looking at housing assistance that's offered by the university, if anything. And then I was looking specifically at Indian housing communities, and they had a website that was dedicated to that. So I found my roommate through that. So you'd probably spend about $500 per month on rent, and then you'd spend about $200 to $250, depending on how you like to live, in a month on food and transport. Since my roommate was an Indian, we'd sometimes cook for each other and we'd just share meals. For expenses, we had an understanding where I would take care of the expenses. Like, we'd spend together, but at the end of the month, it would be me who'd be looking at all of the expenses, all the bills together, all the receipts, and then dividing it evenly. Once I met my roommate, I also met a lot of other Indian friends who were her friends. So eventually all of us were one big group of people interacting with each other almost every day or meeting on the weekends. So it wasn't really bad. Basically, they're giving you ways to think of a solution using the concepts you studied in class. I think that's the biggest difference here. It's more like you learn the material throughout the semester, and then on the exam, you're tested on your knowledge, but it's not just concepts, but application of concepts. They talk to you specifically about any visa questions that you might have and how to handle that, how you're supposed to take care of stuff before you leave on vacation to your home country, how you handle that, how you interact with people here, because there might be a different way that you talk to others back home, but it might not be acceptable here. So they kind of explain all of the cultural norms, and then they also tell you how to deal with the education system differences that you'll experience here compared to your home country. And then another thing, in orientations, you meet a lot of other students. Some classes were really big. There were like 70 to 100 students. And then in my other more focused classes, like molecular genetics, we had about 10 to 30 students, depending on the intake for that semester. 15% would be Indians. I think at my university, we had a lot of Asian students, but most of those Asians were from China or like Korea compared to India. In my experience, at least, you don't need prior experience of the class that you're signing up for. If it is a very advanced class, then you might, because sometimes they have courses in which there's like level 1, level 2, level 3. Because I did a PhD program, I wasn't paying for my tuition. I had financial assistance. I know a lot of the master's students do not have that option if they don't have assistantships. I took courses and I signed up for other activities because I had the time, but also because most of my other activities were paid for because I was a PhD student. So I signed up for like kayaking, rock climbing, and jiu-jitsu.